Hi everybody, and thank you for joining Stamp with Lisa Brown. I am Lisa Brown and your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today we're going to be showing you how to make a pop-out step card, and we're going to be featuring the Noble Peacock product suite. So the Noble Peacock product suite can be found in the annual catalog. And it's stamps, dies, embossing folder, 2 different kinds of paper, ribbon, and rhinestones. So you get a lot of product for only $92.75. However, you can just buy the stamps and the dies in their own bundle. So I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Here is the rhinestones that come in the product suite, and it is in five different colors. They're really pretty, and you get multiple sizes. Here is a quick layout of the Peacock dies. And what I do is I like to die cut all the dies that come in a set and put it on a piece of paper, cardstock. It's just generic cardstock that I use. And that way I have a quick reference, because this is how my dies usually look. They're all like thrown in here, and it's really hard to see what you have. So this way I've been storing them back in the little paper container, the little paper fold that they come in, and then the plastic container, I'll slip it in there. So this way I have this right with it, and I can just pull that out and see exactly what I have. Here is the Royal Peacock stamp set that we're going to be playing with today. And so yeah, I think these are great projects. I'll give you a quick preview at the end of the video of some other projects that I've done with the Royal Peacock stamp set recently. And then here is the ribbon. And the ribbon is, there we go, catching that light. See how shimmery that is? Now if I flip it over, that shimmer is only on the edges. So in the middle is that pretty peacock color with the old olive on the outside, but on the front side of that ribbon, it's a combination of the two colors. Really, really nice ribbon. All right. Then I think probably my most favorite out of this product suite is the paper. And there are two sets of 2 packs of paper. There is some specialty designer series paper, and it's foil based. Oh my goodness. And you get several sheets of each. So you have, this is Old Olive. Now, people have been pairing this with Night of Navy, but this is actually Blueberry Bushel, another in color that will be going out. And then this one here is your pretty peacock color. And then, again, stay to the end of the video, because I will show you what else I paired this with in my project. So, but as you can see, it's foil and it's super pretty. So speaking of foil, Stampin' Up! Also came out with some coordinating foil paper for this, and what a great idea. So you get, there is a foil pack that you can get. You get 2 pieces of Pretty Peacock and, Blueberry Bushel, and this is actually like more like a Bermuda Bay, and Old Olive. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started with our project. And yeah, I can show you that fun pop-out step fold. So I'm going to put my camera down. All right. So we're going to make our card base out of Blueberry Bushel. And we need a card base that is 10.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to cut my paper first to the 5.5 on the long side here. Okay, get that lined up. And I need to swing the arm out on my cutter. So I'm just grabbing down here, and this pulls right on out to make that swing, and it locks into place very nicely. Going to turn my paper and cutting it to 10.5 inches. On that same side, on that 10.5 inch, we're going to start scoring our paper. Our first score line is at 3.5. Then 5.5. 7 inches. And 8.5. Okay. Now, so the last score was 8.5 and the one before it was at 7. I'm going to fold my card on that 7-inch line. So we're just going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to flip it over and fold it this way. Just, I think it folds nicer, not that you have to. Grab my bone folder, get my trimmer out of the way, and we're going to give that a nice little crease. There we go. Okay, so that was our 7-inch fold line. So now what you want to do is you want to cut on that 7-inch fold line, okay? So I'm going to put my paper in with the fold up against the edge of the trimmer. And let me see if you can see this. You see this score line here? That's 1.5 inches down. This is 1.5 inches. So I need to cut from that fold line all the way down to 1.5 inches. But on your Stampin' Trimmer, on the guide, there are measurements right here on the guide, okay? And so there is a 1.5 inch marking. And then on the side of your blade, there is a little divot in there. And that's how you can measure up, okay? So I'm going to stand up for this so that I can keep it in the view of the camera. All right, let's go back again. Fold line up against, and our first cut is going to be at 3/8 of an inch. So let me just get my bearings here. So 1, 2, 3, 3/8. So that's 1. It's 1, 2. It's the line after a quarter. Okay, so it's right here. I'm just trying, because it's a little funny how to see this with the cutting in there. So I'm just making sure that I'm getting my alignment. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. It's the line before, the bigger line before the 1/2 inch. So here's 3/8. We're gonna cut that. I'm going to hold this down, and now I'm just going to bring my blade up to that score line or the 1.5 inch mark. And we're going to stop. Okay. Oop, I didn't start at the very end. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's cut that again. I just didn't get the start of my cut. There we go. Okay. All right, so then my next cut is 1 3/8. So again, I'm going to bring that down to the score line or the 1.5 inch mark. My next cut is at 1 5/8. Okay. And then 1 5/8, 2 5/8. So here's 2. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Two and 7/8. 3 7/8. 4 1/8. And the final one is at 5 1/8. Make sure I'm to that score line. Okay. So I just had to reverse my look, but actually it just took, you can take this here and look for your 1.5 inch mark and just line that up, even though your paper is missing over here. Okay. So that is all cut. Let's get our cutter out of the way. I'm going to push this arm in, and then it just locks right back in down here, like so. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to take my front flap, and I'm just going to fold my front flap back. And I'm going to give that a little score with my crease with my bone folder. Okay, come back to my card. So these bigger sections, you can see right here, we have 4 bigger sections. I want to pop those bigger sections out, and I want to push them towards this back panel. So I'm just going to pop out this big section here. And with my finger on the back, I'm going to hold here in the front for the score line, and I'm just going to bend this over, pushing this in the score line. And then letting it fold down. And it created that first fold. Okay, so you want this to pop out. So let's go ahead and do the next one. Now, because we folded this, the other one should happen just a little bit easier. So again, push this one forward. I'm going to push from behind. And then just bring it down and give it a press. Do the next one. Push that forward. Actually, I'm going to do these two at the same time. I'm going to push them forward. See what happens here? And then just bring this back and fold. And give it a nice press. If you want, you can try to take your bone folder and go in there and score them, but I think it's okay just to do it with your finger. If you wanted to give these a little press too, you can. And across here. Okay, so that is the basis of our card. So this is our front panel, and then this is, so our card's going to open up like this. All right, and this front panel is 3.5 by 5.5. So I have brought in a piece of the Noble Peacock Designer Series, Specialty Designer Series paper. With the old olive design. So this is just 3.25 by 5.25. And we're going to glue this to the front of our card. These two panels actually come out to be the same, and those are 2 by 5.5. So I have cut another piece of the Noble Peacock specialty paper, And so that's going to be 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I have a second piece for this back panel. Okay. And glue that right on there. Okay. Now we have 8 little rectangles that I would like to cover, and I'm going to use the same paper. And the paper pieces, so each of these boxes measures 1 by 1 1/2. And what I did was I did not want to reduce it by 1/4 of an inch. I only wanted to reduce it by 1/8 of an inch. So I have all these little rectangle pieces. If you cut your paper to, let me get my rulers to make sure I'm giving you the correct measurement. I think it should be like 1 3/8. So 1, 2, 3, yes. So if you cut your long strip for these boxes here, 1 3/8, and then you can just put your piece of, so say this is my strip, 1 3/8. I can just then put it in my trimmer and go 7/8, cut, 7/8, cut, and then you can just keep pushing your paper through. And that's a real easy way to cut when you have multiple pieces, small pieces that you want to adhere. So I'm just going to put some glue on my card so that I can glue in all my little rectangles. And it still gives it a little border, just not as wide as your normal 1/4 inch. Okay. You guys, I just love this paper. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, so they'll be announcing at the end of April to demonstrators of what is going to be retired. So customers will be finding out shortly thereafter. And the in colors will go out quickly. So like your blueberry bushel and lovely lipstick and all those are going to go super quick. Let's see here. Okay, so if you would like to order those, I do have a hostess code, and it's shown at the bottom of the screen, and you can just go to my shop at lisabrown.stampinup.net to get those. But yeah, so blueberry bushel will definitely be one of those going out real quick. So okay, so now we got all of our little squares. Oh, one moved on me. Hang on. I'm trying to fix it. Let's see. Let me go back so you can see what I'm doing. One of my squares moved, so it tore the backing of the designer series paper a little bit, but that's okay. Whatever. So we're just gonna glue this right back over it, and nobody is even going to see it, right? Okay. Okay. Let's see. So now we need to decorate this, and well, I think I'm going to do my panels here first. So I pre-die cut some of the feather dies. Oh, they're intertangled with each other. Okay. Look at these feathers. Oh my goodness. All right. There you go. So I did 2 in the blueberry bushel foil paper and foil sheets. I'm trying to catch that light again. There we go. And then I did 2 in the old olive foil paper, and I'm just going to glue those on each of the panels, the small inside panels. Now you could put paper here to put some wording or messages. You can also put you know, like on your sides, but I chose to leave these plain for now, and then I'm just decorating this, and I'm going to decorate the front And I will show you what I did for my messages, like where I'm going to put my notes to whoever is going to be the recipient of this card. Okay, so we're going to put this. And then I just put liquid glue. I'll show you on the green ones. I'll do it underneath the camera. I put it just in the middle of the stems because I want this to like stay popped away from the card. So I'm just going to put a little bit glue down the middle and stick that in there. And do the same for this one. Just adding some dimension to it. Okay. Nice. So yeah, I like that. And then you could even add little tiny white squares in here or put letters over it. Or in the Noble Peacock, there is a floral die that a stamp with a die. So you could even stamp this and color it in and add some florals to this. That would be nice too. All right, so we need to do the outside, and I've already preempted an outside, but I wanted to show you the Peacock stamp and using my Stamparatus. So this is the Stamparatus is the stamp positioning tool, and let's see, this is the one that got kind of mucky here. Oops, let me grab that. Let me just see where this is going to swing. Yeah, okay. I'm going to move this over a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So I'm going to, look at my magnets are stuck together. Don't let your magnets clap together because there is a good possibility that they will shatter. So when you pull them apart, make sure you have a good grip on them. So I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one up here. And I am going to come in with my Old Olive. Okay. And I'm going to ink up my Peacock stamp with Old Olive. Come down and give that a good press. Paper lifted just a little bit. Okay, all right, that looks really good. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we're gonna leave that there. And then I already have lined up, and let me get it into position, the other panel for the top. And what that's going to do is it's going to come over and it's going to add the detail to the peacock. Now my paper shifted, so I just want to make sure that I'm still lined up, and it looks like I am. Okay, so let me ink this up in Blueberry Bushel, which is a really, really pretty blue, just like blueberries. Okay, that should be plenty of ink. Now I'm just going to bring this over. I'm going to slide this back to show you. Bring this over, and we're going to give that a good press. Cool. All right, I'm just going to take this off for now so that it doesn't get ink all over the place. And there is our peacock. Isn't she pretty? So the second stamp is a detail. It adds a secondary color into the peacock. I see the blue in there. I think that's really cool. Okay, and let me find my peacock die. So there is a die, an outline that's going to cut this guy out, just like so. And it's such, our new dies are so exact. I like to put a little tiny piece of washi tape when I get it into position, just so that it doesn't move. And then this way too, I can do this on my table. Hang on a second, stuck to my finger here. I can do it on my table and then take it over to my Big Shot, or bring my Big Shot over, and then I can lift it without it moving out of the way. So I'm going to do that. Okay, just to hold the die down. And let me close my blueberry bushel because, you know, my fingers are all blue because I didn't close it before and I stuck my finger in it. So let me just grab my Big Shot really quick. Okay. You get that bright, that light is so bright today. All right, so now I'm just going to lay my Peacock on there and run it through. So there is a real detailed die in the set too. Oh, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And I'll show you what I did on this. Okay. So I'm just going to pull, there's my Peacock. All right, I'm going to throw this one aside. So here is a piece of the blueberry bushel foil paper. Let me see if I can bring my light in, and if you can get a glimpse of that blue. So what I did was I just took some of my tape runner, ran some on the back, and then I used this just as a little added decoration. Like this. Okay, so then our front panel piece is, like I said, is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I went ahead and I used 2 oval framelits, another piece of the blueberry bushel foil paper, the blueberry bushel foil paper, and cut those 2 ovals. I pop dotted them onto my green. Oh, I glued this on, didn't I? That's all right. And then I used some of the Peacock ribbon and just tied a double bow on there, right on top of my Peacock. It's just sitting right on top. And then here's that little detail of him sitting off there. So that's gonna fit on just like this. I think I have a little tiny bit of adhesive so you can see. Okay, so that's what that card is going to look like. Now, when you fold your card up, it's smaller. It's only 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you can do, and one of the things is I've already done another card. And so as you can see on the back, let me get a piece of white paper in here. So it's like our standard width of a card. This one's not. You can see the difference. So what I did was I just cut a piece of blueberry bushel that is your standard 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and I glued it to the back. And then I cut a piece of Whisper White, and that's where my sentiment is, and where I can write happy birthday, celebrating another year. And this is coming from the Well Said stamp set and the dies that coordinate with it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like, now you're still going to get a full-size card, and you don't have to ruin all this prettiness. You can just write right on the back. So for this one, what I decided is I want a piece of these Noble Peacock Designer Series paper to be my backing as added interest. So I've cut this, again, this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And I'm just going to put glue on this back panel. Now this card is getting really thick and it is bulky, but I love it. So when you're going to put it in the mail, make sure you give it the appropriate amount of postage. So I'm just going to grab this and fold it. And then I'm going to line it up and lay it down. And just give it a nice hold. So there is with the new decorative backing. Okay. So now you can stamp what you want on the back now, because the designer series paper is white on the back, so you can just stamp your sentiments. But if you really want to go the extra mile, you can cut another piece of blueberry bushel, line that in there, and then take another piece of whisper white and line that in there. So, and then you can do your sentiment on the back side, just like I did with this card. So, love the Peacock. This is in the designer series paper. So very pretty. The other thing is, I told you if you stayed to the end of my video, I would show you some other projects and another coordinating color. So in the paper pack, they give you they tell you that the 3 colors that coordinate with this set is oh my goodness, blueberry bushel, old olive, and pretty peacock. So those are your 3 standard colors. And when I pulled out the foil paper, the designer series paper, I said, boy, I really see another color in there. And so that's what I did. I pulled out Bermuda Bay. And look at that foil paper. So this background here is where you're seeing the pretty peacock. But in the foil part of it, it brings out Bermuda Bay. So I just simply did the same card in 3 colors. So this has Bermuda Bay card base. This is Old Olive. And then this is the blueberry bushel. And I can link into my blog for all of the details on these cards here. So, okay. I think that's it for today. And don't forget, you can go to stampwithlisabrown.stampinup.net, and I have an April hostess code showing at the bottom of the screen. And if you're going to place an order by the end of this month, be sure to use that hostess code, and you'll get a little freebie from me. Your order does have to be at least $30. And but if you're going to place an order that's $150 or more, do not use the hostess code, because you'll get your own rewards. But then please email me that you have placed an order so that I know, and then you can still get a little freebie from me for placing an order. So, all right, thank you for joining me, and catch my next video, and I'll be back with a Savvy Sunday every Sunday. So have a good night. Bye-bye.